Peace, 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 peace. What's going on, y'all? I'm about to check something real quick, and I'm gonna get right into it. Make sure my live is live, and I'm gonna get right into it. All right, we good, we good, we good. So yeah, I am definitely going in on this topic, because it's just something that's been dawning on me. So I've been actually watching everything that is going on with the presidential election, as well as some of the polling data that they've been coming out with. All of the normal stuff everybody has been kind of putting out there as far as information wise. So one of the things I noticed is that every single, like literally every single uh, anybody who has polling data up right now, they're saying that Joe Biden is in the lead in double points. Now, if you can remember way back 4 years ago in the 2016 elections, they had some of the same exact stats up for Hillary Clinton, which is eerily ironic that they have it the same exact way. Now, I know what you guys came in for. You guys came in for to see what my take is on why Joe Biden will definitely lose the 2020 election, because he will. The main reason why, let's get to it. The first reason why is because he is so stuck on being consistently attached to the Obama administration. I was about to say Biden. My wife got me for that earlier. He is so stuck to the Obama administration, whether it is getting the Obamas, who didn't endorse him when he first started off in the presidential race, getting the Obamas to endorse him and parade around for him, kind of haphazardly giving people reasons why they should be voting for Joe Biden. He had to come out with the big guns. So, because right now they're panicking because even though they have him in a double-digit lead in every other major polling, if you look at the polls now, today, you'll notice how small of a margin that has become. So we have a lot of the polling data as of last week. Joe Biden's up 11 points. He's up 10 points. He's up 12 points. He's up. And now when you look at it, it's 0.7, 0.5, 1%, 3%. Now, with the mailing ballots, they've already said most of the Democrats have already put in their ballots. They've either done early voting so they can beat the crowds, or they're saying that they want to, or they're saying that they are beating, not beating the crowds, but they've already mailed in their ballots. They've already mailed in their ballots. So if we already know most of the polling data is showing, and most of the registered voters who are Democrats have already voted, and Joe Biden is starting to get a shrinking lead in the polls, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? It's going to on election day, come Tuesday, you're going to see a huge swath of Republican voters, because A, Republicans don't care about coronavirus. B, Republicans actually are going to vote because that was the plan all along. Because if anybody's been paying attention at the Trump rallies, he's been telling everybody not to go vote until election day. So this is going to be a repeat of Hillary Clinton, of the Hillary Clinton. And that's just due to the fact that, again, Joe Biden is so close to the Clintons. He's so close to the Obamas. He will not let go of that losing playbook, because we got to hit you where your heart is. The Democrats got to be the ones that hit you where your heart is. They got to let you know, if you don't vote for us, black women will be in danger. That's what they told us. They got to let you know that Trump isn't the normal president. You got to let them know that Trump is a racist. Ironically so, I have never, if you look back in the history books, how many Republican within the last, I say, in the last 4 or 5 presidents, out of almost every single last one of those Republican presidents, they all call racist. But then when you go and look in the playbooks and back in the history of the actual agendas that were pushed during some of the Democratic presidents, they eerily never get called racist. Weird. The same president that endorsed the 95 crime bill, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Obama, none of them are called racist. I wonder why. They've been touting this racist thing about Trump only when he actually started to become president. Again, Joe Biden is too close to the Democratic Party, specifically Obama. And again, that's why he had to have the Obamas rush in and swoop in and try to save his presidential election, save him during the president, because he needs it. He has to pigeonhole himself to Obama because a large swath of people are only voting for Biden because of Obama. Only because of Obama. They're only voting for him because he's connected to Obama. Now that's dangerous. That's really, really, really dangerous for Joe Biden to want to connect himself back with the Obama administration. Because there's so much that had happened during the Obama administration that people do not want to go back to what it was during the Obama administration. A lot of people have trust issues from the Obama administration. Why would they vote for someone who's going to give them the same thing they had before? Joe brings nothing new to the table and everything that everybody voted against in 2016. People voted against these incumbents and these longtime politicians coming in, giving you the same old politics, the same old tired stories, the same old. And that's what they have voted against in the 2020 election. So why would you think that in a 2020 election, anybody would just fall for the same old okie doke? Again, we are so connected. We are so interconnected due to the progression of the internet and social media. Everybody already knows that Joe Biden is almost no different from Trump or any other politician out there. He's going to tell you what you want to hear during the election, and then when it comes to after election, he will not deliver. Now, there's a little bit of a difference between him and Trump because Trump has not been a career politician. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has delivered on many of his promises. Now, that's just his political track record as of 4 years. Now, let's look at it like this. You have one person who's been in government for over 47 years and has absolutely screwed everything, as well as hasn't done anything for the constituency he claims that he supports. And then you have somebody who's a baby to the political system, only 3 years skin in the game, and he's pushing for his own agenda, getting his own agenda heard and done as we go. Why would I vote for someone who's been in government for 47 years and hasn't gotten anything done? That's just his track record. And I'm not going to say he didn't have anything, he didn't get anything done. He didn't get anything done that actually benefited any of the lower class and middle class families. He has not. And no one can name me one policy that actually helped middle class and poor families. They helped Goldman and Sachs. They helped the prison industrial complex. They helped a lot of these people through their own policies. Now, again, people want to say, oh, Trump not going to do nothing for black folk. Trump is a racist. Trump. And it's like, so you mean to tell me that Donald Trump is a racist and you're willing to actually vote for the one who institutionalized racism? Institutionalized racism, i.e., the 95 crime bill, i.e., even with his running mate Kamala Harris having a track record of actually prosecuting poor people for not having their children in school, for truancy. So you got two people who you're voting for, who actually go against the grain of Black Lives Matter and are actually the proponents of institutionalized racism, as well as proponents of the prison industrial complex. Oh, I'm going to keep talking about that. I don't care if he becomes president or not. The Democrats will have to wear this loss because a large swath of the black voters that Joe Biden needs are not going to be there because they remember every single thing on his record, every single thing on Kamala Harris's record. Black women are not going to vote for Kamala Harris just because she's black, Joe Biden. You chose her because she was a woman and she was a minority. The only two reasons why Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris. Because when Kamala Harris was on the debate with Joe Biden, she was calling him all kind of racist. So what happened? She's a flip-flopper. He's a flip-flopper. Because you got him 1 minute saying he's not going to ban fracking and then turn around and say he's going to ban fracking. Oh, that's a big one right there on why he's going to lose. Because most of the places where he needs to win, he's already told the constituency he's going to get rid of oil by 2025 in the next 5 years, and he's going to ban fracking. Now, can anybody think why a president or someone trying to be in president would tell the people on coast and on the third coast, which are where all of your oil refineries are, as well as Alaska, why you would tell them that you're going to ban their jobs? You're going to take their jobs away. Why would you do that? On national television. You've already switched some of the people who were undecided against you by saying you're gonna take away their jobs. And this is what Trump has been saying. They're going to take away your oil jobs. They're going to take away your fracking jobs. They don't have a plan to replace those jobs. The energy sources that they said that they had, i.e., if you look over there in California, they're not any good. Once you switch over to these other types of energy sources, you run the risk, unless you're doing nuclear, your power grid will not be able to be sustainable for a long period of time. So you're going to have blackouts and brownouts very consistently. Joe Biden is going to lose this election because he failed at actually promoting something that the American people as a whole could stand behind. He is going up against an incumbent. Yes, we're going to have a large swath of people voting, but I'm willing to bet that the large amount of people that would be voting for Joe Biden are not going to vote for Joe Biden this time. They're going to go Trump. Like I said in my other video, California might become a purple state. Now, for anybody who's been watching my videos, you'll know that I've been consistently saying that Joe Biden is not a Democrat. He himself, as well as Obama, have always stacked their plates with Republicans in their administration. Joe Biden right now is vetting Republicans for his administration. He's not really a Democrat. So the policies that you're actually trying to get will not go through under his administration. What is your alternative? I'm not running a campaign for Donald Trump, but the cards are very clear. The cards are very clear. Donald Trump is going to win this election as he did in 2016. Joe Biden does not have a platform. He's running with a losing administration, which is the Obama administration, because people are still sour about the Obama administration. People are still sour about the Obama administration. He doesn't have a platform. He's already told people that they're going to lose jobs and he's going to raise taxes under his administration. The Democratic Party has let people starve as well as lose their homes during the pandemic. Don't think that people hate Trump so much that they're going to forget that the Democrats, led by Nancy Pelosi, were not the issue as to why they're losing their homes and their jobs and their companies and their businesses and not having a stable income, especially due to those negotiations. Trump put it out there. She was acting in bad faith, thinking that it was going to help the Democrats in the election. Well, that didn't work, because one of the thorns in the heels of many people is that actual interview with Wolf Blitzer and Nancy Pelosi, she got upset because Wolf Blitzer asked her whether she was doing this to get an upper hand on Trump. She was emotionally and visibly upset. She didn't even come up with the answer. She just asked him, why would he ask her that? Now, let's think about the optics of that. To see an incumbent sitting there telling you, the person in power, the Speaker of the House, telling you that she's not going to do it because she's not going to break a deal because she wants more. When there's a deal on the table and everybody in her caucus was telling her to take the deal. If everybody was telling her to take the deal, Democrat, and they knew it was a good deal to take, and everybody is watching the negotiations because they don't have nothing else to do. And this is, and I'm going to say this, that's a thorn in the heel of the Democrats. This COVID-19 is also a thorn in the heel of the Democrats because they can't play those mirror games. They can't play smoke and mirrors right now. They can't do it. They can't say, oh, now you see me, now you don't. They can't do that anymore. And the reason why is because nobody has a job right now. Nobody's consistently working right now. So they have time to pay attention to the politics that are going on. So they know who and what is going on at all times, because the news can't shut up for a minute and pull a couple of puff pieces out to distract the people. They're too busy trying to focus on Trump. They haven't come up with any kind of policies that are actually helping those to become president. The entire negotiation for stimulus is going to fall on the shoulders of Joe Biden during this election. I promise you, people are going to see that. But again, they had Joe Biden winning the election already, just like they did Hillary Clinton in 2016. Let's think about that. If the polls were wrong then, and I'm going to say this, we have to not think about the polls, because the polls are actually opinion polls. So they're not really polls that are strategically put out there for people to get the actual information. They're opinion polls. So they're not scientific at all. They're not based on science. They're not based on any type of science. The basis for many of them are rigged from the beginning. They're skewed depending on who's paying for the poll. So we can't even think the polls are going to be right again in 2020. The polls were wrong in 2016. They're going to be wrong in 2020. And that's all because the data that they're putting in there is skewed to work for the benefit of the people paying for the polls. Now, when we're thinking about these polls, again, let's look at it like this. They're going out here telling everybody, including Trump voters, that Biden has a 10, 11, 20-point lead. Is that supposed to make us or other people vote for someone who's winning? Just solely because you told them they were winning? No. By telling people that Donald Trump is losing, it will make them go harder on election day. There will be a red wave that will show up on election day that they never actually imagine will happen. I promise you. Because again, most Republicans are going to vote on and it's accurate. Most Republicans are going to vote on election day. Most Republicans are going to vote on election day. And then on top of that, you've already put the battery in their back. When you look at the two camps and you go back and look at Joe Biden's campaign and all of his rallies and Trump's campaign and all of his rallies, there's a clear difference. A clear difference between the numbers of people that go to a Trump rally and the numbers of people who went to a Biden rally. He is so dry. He's so drab. Reading off the teleprompter 90% of the time. In order to win this election, he would have had to polarize people past their hate for Donald Trump. Past their hate for Donald Trump. And they have yet to do that. They have yet to polarize people past their hate of Donald Trump. He doesn't have a platform. Everything that he's talking about is attacking people's emotions, attacking different demographics, using using the Hillary Clinton playbook. He is a white male trying to appeal to people in his own constituency. Even in his own constituency, people don't even like him. The identity politics do not and will not work. The identity politics do not and will not work this time. It didn't even work last time. It actually pushed people away from Hillary Clinton. But now we're still doing the identity politics so that you can push people away from Joe Biden. I'm trying to tell you now, Joe Biden is going to lose this election regardless of what they're saying right now. Tuesday is the only day that you should be worried about. Election day is the only date you should be worried about. Forget what the polls are saying. The polls are specifically opinion polls. They are judging a national election nationally, whereas Trump only needs to get the electoral colleges like he did last time. The electoral colleges, excuse me, I don't know what's going on with me, but the electoral college is what we should be worried about right now. We should only be worried about the electoral college. What they're putting out in the polls is popularity. That's why I said you can't trust the polls. I mean, you can't trust the polls because the electoral colleges have nothing to do with popular vote. It's already written in the system. That's not how it works. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, yet Donald Trump still won. And that's why many of the Democrats were talking about we need to abolish the electoral college. That's weird because that's also how Obama got into presidency, the second term. So you want to abolish it only when it works in your favor. Crazy. But again, Joe Biden cannot win this race. He's already alienated too many people, not only in that second debate, but he also alienated many people throughout his campaign. You can't win those people back once they're alienated. Trump has been very, very controlled in this election cycle. Solely because he's the president. He doesn't have to go at Joe like he did Hillary Clinton back then. He just has to do politics as usual. And what is he doing? Politics as usual. Look how polished he was during that second debate. Had nothing to do with the mics being cut off. He changed completely from that debate, which eerily plays out exactly like the 2016 debates, where he lost the first debate and then he came back in the second debate on fire. The match was already lit. Trump will turn California purple. Trump will turn Virginia purple. They have Joe Biden winning right now in my state of Virginia. But this is another reason why he's going to lose. He is an anti-Second Amendment, anti-Second Amendment politician. If anybody knows about the 2-way fight here in Virginia, here in Virginia, you will realize that the only two counties that were trying to push for the Second Amendment to be infringed upon were Fairfax County and Richmond, because they have the highest taxpayers in their counties and surrounding counties. But guess what happened? Almost every single county that was not attached to the higher end, the more high earning counties, all of them went for pro Second Amendment. They had a Second Amendment rally in Richmond. Now you think that a anti-gun, completely anti-gun president is going to come in at this polarizing time, and you think that people are going to pull the lever on him as an anti-Second Amendment president, you are completely and utterly out of your mind. Many of these places are pro-Second Amendment, pro-oil, pro-fracking. That includes Florida. It's a southern state. That includes Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia. But people are totally forgetting everything. They think that people just simply forgot that the Democrats did all of this and have been doing this for the last 4 years. Just as much as the Democrats have been hammering in the nail that Trump's oppressive, Trump is a racist, Trump is this, that, and the third. Guess what? Everybody else has been watching everything else too. They've been watching everything else too. The culture war that has been happening, has not ceased to happen. It is still continuously going on. And you think these people are just going to flip the button on Joe Biden? Flip the button for Joe Biden just because you, the elite, are telling them to? No, it's not. You are out of your mind if you think Trump is going to lose by a large margin just because Democrats are telling you so. Because again, they told you that in 2016. They told you that during the midterm elections. And guess what? President Trump beat out Joe Biden in the midterm election. And President Trump also beat out Hillary Clinton in the 2016 elections. Come on now. People are not going to switch just like that. Joe Biden is going to lose the 2020 election. And they have all of y'all hopes up. Because they know if they can get y'all hopes up, they can start chaos. Because that's what the Democrats want. They want to create chaos. They don't have a platform. They already know they lost most of their constituency. The only people that they've kept are people who actually are entangled to them because of their emotional reaction to everything that they tell them. But the news has been losing footing for a very long time. And most people don't even get their news from CNN, from NBC, from Fox News. They're getting it from the internet. Most people are getting their information from the internet. So they're not even watching the news. They're in their social groups. Oh, and speaking of social groups, the only poll that came out that actually talks about your social group and what your social group is going to do has President Trump winning the election in 2020. So I don't care about what experts they pull on there. They're paid to continue the story and the narrative that says President Trump doesn't have a chance of winning. He didn't have a chance of winning in 2016 either. More black men are going to vote for him. More Hispanics are going to vote for him. That's a large swath of the fan base that Joe Biden was supposed to have just because he was a Democrat. So if that's gone, let's think he doesn't have black people. He doesn't have the African American community. He doesn't have Hispanics. So he's going to lose Florida. He doesn't have the lower income families. He doesn't have them pigeonholed because he wants to raise their taxes and take their jobs away and ship them to China. Because he has a partnership with China. That's part of the reason why the Hunter Biden story is so prolific in this race, because it shows what his international connections actually get the American people. So we're going to lose jobs on Joe Biden. White men are not going to a high proportion of low income and middle income white men are not going to vote for Joe Biden. So what do that leave? The college educated and the people and many people with the most money. Oh, I forgot. He wants to tax them too. But people aren't seeing that. Why would I get a president in and have the ability for my company to have to move to a whole nother country? That's not good for business. I don't care what they're telling you about your feelings and how you feel. There are way more people trying to figure out exactly what these people bring to the table. We've made our country so cynical that they want to know what the meats and potatoes are of what you're bringing to the table. And Joe Biden, again, doesn't have a platform. He flip-flops on almost everything depending on the room. A large swath of people who believe in Donald Trump, the biggest swath, the only swath that he needs, are coming on Tuesday. I just watched the news today where they were talking about, the coronavirus is rising as more people are going out to vote. This was a Democrat. These were Democrats. This was those honorary blue checks, those people. Trying to scare people into not going to vote. Trying to scare people to not go out and vote. As if Republicans and Trump supporters actually care that much about catching the coronavirus. If you haven't been paying attention, they were protesting the shutdowns. Oh, yeah, the same shutdowns that if Joe Biden becomes president, he's going to reenact. But y'all saying that people are going to go ahead and continuously vote for Joe Biden to shut down the country again. He said it already in the debates. So we're going to go backwards instead of going forwards, because right now, President Trump, as it stands today, has been elevating and opening up slowly many cities and counties and states. And guess what's going on? More people, the unemployment is not going up like it was at first. Check it out for yourselves. The closer we get to a vaccine, the better we will be. But again, the types of treatments. Remember, we had a treatment. I forgot what the chlorophyll. I think that was hydroxychlorophyll. They were Democrats were banning that, even though it came out that it was a treatment that worked. So they don't want any of the treatments. Then they talking about the experimental drug that President Trump took should be also banned. So they want to ban that one too, because it worked. They need this chaos in order to win. And they need to continue to create chaos in order to win. These people are filled with the most vitriol for poor people. Just think about it. How many times has Joe Biden spoken anything about actually getting people money and stimulus checks to the people who need it? How many times has he spoken on it? He hasn't, because he's not going to. Once they get through the lame duck session, if he wins, I guarantee you we will not get any stimulus checks going through until, I don't know, maybe next February. Maybe the summertime, maybe the spring. But it won't be in the first 100 days. I guarantee that. It won't be in the first 100 days. Because it's not on their agenda. Hey, you can believe what you want to believe. But again, Joe Biden has more going against himself, more things going against him than he has for him. More going against him than he has for him. He has the hardest time winning this election. But again, everything is going to come out on election day. Appreciate each and every last one of you for watching, tuning in. Still working on a couple of things. I done changed my office around. But, hey, that's what we got going on. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. Be blessed. Peace.